The observation pod shattered against the asteroid field, and Dr. Sarah Chen's restraints snapped free as the hull screamed open to vacuum. Her gloved hands found the emergency beacon just as something massive moved past the viewport, scales like molten copper, eyes that burned with intelligence older than Earth's sun. The Keshara Queen. Sarah had been assigned to observe their migration patterns for 3 months. She'd been in position for 47 minutes. The creature's head turned with impossible precision, fixing on Sarah's tumbling form. Protocol said stay still. Protocol said wait for extraction. But Sarah's scanner was still recording, still transmitting, and the readings made no sense. The Queen wasn't migrating, she was hunting. Sarah fired her maneuvering jets, pulling herself toward the nearest intact section of the pod. The Queen followed, massive body coiling through the debris field like liquid metal. Every movement was deliberate, calculated. Sarah's scanner chirped. Thermal signatures, hundreds of them, surrounding the asteroid field in a perfect grid. The Keshara weren't just here. They'd been waiting. The pod's black box was still intact, magnetic seal holding it against the fractured hull. Sarah grabbed it with both hands and kicked away, just as the Queen's tail swept through the space where she'd been floating. The impact sent shockwaves through the debris field. Sarah's helmet display flickered, oxygen at 40%. Nearest Alliance ship was 6 hours away. She wouldn't last 6 minutes. The Queen's voice came through Sarah's comm system, impossible and real, bypassing every encryption the Alliance had ever designed. Observer. Not a question, a designation. Sarah's throat tightened. The Keshara weren't supposed to have language translators. They weren't supposed to understand human tech at all. I'm a scientist, Sarah said, voice steady despite her hammering heart. Studying migration patterns, that's all. The Queen's massive form shifted, scales catching starlight like mirrors. You study what we allow you to see. The words were precise, each syllable weighted with certainty. Your people believe we are animals. Predictable. Safe. Sarah's scanner was still recording everything. The Queen had to know that. Had to understand the implications. But she wasn't stopping the transmission. She was allowing it. The Council doesn't... Sarah started. The Council believes that we have shown them for 300 cycles, the Queen interrupted. Peaceful migration. Simple creatures following ancient paths. Something that might have been amusement colored her tone. Your species is young. You see patterns and believe you understand. The thermal signatures were moving now, closing in a coordinated pattern that made Sarah's tactical training scream warnings. This wasn't random. This was military precision. What do you want? Sarah asked. The Queen's eye, larger than Sarah's entire body, focused with terrifying intensity. You are not supposed to be here today. Your observation schedule was altered. By whom? Sarah's mind raced. She'd received the deployment change 4 hours ago. Emergency reassignment. Priority Alpha. She'd questioned it. Protocol violations throughout, but Command had confirmed. Her supervisor had personally verified. Command sent me, Sarah said slowly. Command sent you to die, the Queen corrected. Someone in your alliance wants this conversation to happen. Wants you to see what I am about to show you. The massive creature turned, her tail gesturing toward the largest asteroid in the field. Approach. Every instinct Sarah had screamed no. But her oxygen was at 35%, and the Queen could have killed her a dozen times already. She fired her jets, drifting toward the asteroid. The surface looked natural from a distance. Rough stone, impact craters, standard composition. Up close, Sarah's scanner registered something else entirely. Metal. Composite alloys. Power signatures buried deep beneath the surface layer. How long? Sarah whispered. 57 cycles, the Queen said. Since your alliance declared our territory a protected zone. Since you promised to observe but never interfere. Her voice hardened. We built this while your scientists cataloged our migration patterns. While your politicians congratulated themselves on their enlightened conservation efforts. Sarah's hands were shaking. The scanner data was streaming back to Alliance Command in real time. They were seeing everything.
You're not migrating, you're preparing.
We are responding, the Queen corrected, to the threat your people refuse to acknowledge, to the darkness gathering at the edge of your explored space. She moved closer, her presence overwhelming. You call them the Void Collective. We have fought them for 10,000 cycles. We have lost 300 worlds. The asteroid field wasn't random debris. It was a fortress. A weapons platform. Sarah's tactical mind automatically cataloged defensive positions, firing angles, power distribution networks, military engineering on a scale humanity had never achieved. Why tell me? Sarah asked. Why reveal this now? The Queen's eye reflected Sarah's tiny form, fragile and alone in the vastness. Because someone in your alliance already knows. Someone orchestrated this meeting. And that means the war that has been coming for centuries has finally arrived at your doorstep. She paused, and for the first time something like regret entered her voice. You were supposed to be an observer. Chen, now you are the only human who knows the truth. What you do with that knowledge will determine whether your species survives the next cycle. Sarah's oxygen display flashed red. 20%. Her extraction team was still 5 hours away. The Queen watched her with those ancient burning eyes, waiting, judging. I need to report this, Sarah said. You are already reporting it, the Queen replied. Your scanner has been transmitting since your pod broke apart. Every word, every image. Your Alliance command has been listening to this entire conversation. The massive creature shifted, her attention moving to something beyond Sarah's view. The question is not whether you report. The question is whether they believe you, whether they act. Whether they understand that the enemy of our enemy must become something more than just another species to be observed and catalogued. Sarah's calm crackled. Command's voice, cold and analytical. Dr. Chen, confirm your scanner readings. Confirm Keshara military installation. Her finger hovered over the transmit button. One word would validate everything. Would transform the Keshara from protected species to potential allies. Or potential threats. Would unravel 300 years of Alliance policy. Confirmed, Sarah said. The Queen's eye flashed with something that might have been approval. Or warning.